Alright, so how do I look for impulse pullback trade setups daily? Well, I use my easy scan from TC2000. Right, so you can subscribe to TC2000. It's about 300 US dollars a year, right? Or I think 300 or 400 dollars US a year. And you can use their easy scans to scan for these setups, right? So you can do that, or you can also subscribe for our alert service where every day we'll send you valid trades that we discover on our scanners, and you can take those trades. So it's up to you. So I'm going to show you how to set up your own scanner on TC2000, all right? So the first thing you need to do is you need to create what we call PCF scripts, right? Or these are written scripts to find the setups based on the conditions that I've taught you, right? 6 crossing above the 18, MACD crossing, and so on and so forth. So to create the PCF scripts, you need to go to a library, all right? Click on library. And, oops, hold on. Click on conditions, okay? It's a bit slow for some reason. Click on conditions, great, okay. And what you do is you need to create a new condition formula, all right? Now you have to create a total of 4 formulas, okay? Why 4? Well, 2 for longs and 2 for shorts. Let me just write it down for you here, all right? So the first one you need to create is called impulse pullback 6 cross 18 long, okay? So this script is to find the setups where the 6 EMA has just crossed above the 18 EMA and creating the swing high and the pullback pattern, okay? Another one is the impulse pullback MACD long. So this is based on the MACD bullish signal, right? So I repeat, you have got one script based on the 6 EMA crossing 18 EMA signal and one script based on the MACD signal. So these are both long and long. Next, you have to create an impulse pullback 6 cross 18 short setup, right? These are to scan for short trades when a 6 EMA crosses below the 18 EMA. And finally, impulse pullback, that's right, excuse me, MACD short. Okay, so you have to create 4 of these scripts, right? I'll show you in a short while how to create the scripts. And following that, you have to create 4 easy scans in order to scan the market for these 4 setups every day. All right? All right. So over here, you can see that these are all ready-made scripts that I've created, and I'll show you the ones I'm talking about. There we go. All right. So these are the 4, right? So we've got impulse pullback 6 cross 18 long, okay? Impulse pullback MACD long, okay? So these are the 2 longs, and these are the 2 shorts. Now for each of these scripts, okay, there is a formula. So I'm going to click on the formula that I have created. So this is the formula for impulse pullback 6 cross 18 long. Okay, this is the formula, right? So all you got to do is you have to copy and paste this formula into your condition formula, right? So I'll be giving you all these formulas. You just have to paste it in and you're good to go, all right? So this is the formula for that one. This is the formula here, all right? So they all have their formulas over here. There's a formula over here as well. Formulas here, okay, formulas here. Great, okay. So you can download these formulas from our site, and you can download them in a Word document. So all you got to do is once you download it, you just have to copy, all right, copy and paste it in the PCF script. So let me show you how to do that right now. Okay. So what you do again is you go to Library, Conditions, and you click on New Condition Formula because you have not created it yet. You have to create it. So click on that. There we go. So this is an empty script. So you have to put in impulse pullback 6 cross 18 long, and then you copy and paste the formula which you can download from our page. Right? So just paste this formula, Once you've pasted it, then you click OK, and you'll be inside here. Okay. Now, once you've done that, next create the next one, which is impulse pullback MACD long. Again, paste the formula for this one, click OK, and you have there. Okay, and then create the one for short and one for short. So once you've created it, you have all four appear in your condition list, right? And you can again check the formula to make sure that it is correct over here. Okay. So that's step one. Create these four condition formulas or PCF scripts. Now, once you've created the scripts, you have to create an easy scan. Now, how do you create an easy scan? You go to this icon, click on easy scan, create new easy scan. Now, you have to create a total of 4 easy scans for the 4 PCF scripts, okay? So how do we create an easy scan? Now, first of all, you have to indicate the list to scan. So I want to scan for all US stocks. So click on US stocks here. All right, list to scan US stocks. Next, add my condition. What's my condition? So the first condition would be the IP 6x18 long, which is the script we just wrote, right? So click on that and save. Click save. And we call this same name, impulse pullback 6x18 long. Save. So now you have got an easy scan for 6x18 long. Okay. So once you've done that, create another easy scan. Again, scan all US stocks. This time, the second scan would be impulse pullback MACD long. So this is based on MACD signal, right? And then you save it as, again, similar name, impulse pullback MACD long. Save. All right. Next one will be the create new easy scan. Again, scan all US stocks. Next one will be the impulse pullback 6x18 short. All right, and then following that will be the MACD short. All right, got it? So again, save it as impulse pullback 6x18 short, and click save. Now I'm not gonna click save because I already have it. I'm not gonna do another one, right? So you gotta click save, and again, once you have done all that, you have got your 4 easy scans ready to go. Okay, and you can find it over here, or I can click on this, and straight away you can see your 4 easy scans are ready to go. Right, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. So once it's there, every day I will then screen for those trades. Now, what I do is my routine, every single day, is I will look at the S&P 500, with the index, right? So recall that if the S&P 500 is bullish, right, the S&P 500 is above the 20 EMA, I only screen for long trades. Okay, I'll only screen for the impulse pullback 6x18 long and the impulse pullback MACD long. I will not screen for the short trades. If the S&P 500 is bearish, right, it's below the 20 EMA, the market's bearish, I screen for short trades. So that is what I do, all right? So I'm going to show you in a short while, given that right now the market's bullish, how I screen for long trades using the screener, all right? So let's take a look at that. All right, so let's start the screening process. So I'm going to begin by screening for Piranha cross long, which is Piranha 6x18 long, and following that Piranha MACD long, right? So in other words, this is based on the 6x18 EMA signal. This is based on the MACD signal. So I'm going to click on that, and let's see what happens. Okay, so I've got number of potential setups that are appearing based on this screen. So I'm going to look at the charts. Now again, although you may have many potential setups, but I'll only take a maximum of 2 a day, or I may not take any at all, because I only take those that fulfill all the criteria I've talked about previously. Okay, I only take A quality setups. So let me just run through the setups and I'll show you why I would not take a certain setup and why I would take a certain setup. All right, so let's begin with CCE. That's the first one. All right, so immediately off the bat, this is not valid because the MACD is bearish. All right, so recall what I said. For a long setup, when you're going long for the impulse pullback, MACD has to be bearish. In other words, the MACD line has to be above the signal line. So it is bearish, it is not valid, even if you have got the swing high pullback pattern. So let's skip to the next one. Again, MACD is bearish, so I'm going to skip that. MACD is bearish again, so skip that. All right, so this one looks interesting. Okay, so as you can see, the signal is from the 6 EMA crossing above the 18 EMA. Okay, now at the same time, do you also notice that the MACD has just crossed bullish? So they are both happening at the same time, and that's an A quality setup where 2 out of 3 conditions are happening at the same time. What are the 3 conditions? 6 EMA crossing above 18 EMA, and MACD crossing bullish, and the price crossing above the 50 moving average happening at the same time. So in this case, this and this are happening at the same time. So we've got 2 out of 3 conditions is a high quality setup, right? So right at the cross of the 618, we've got the swing high candle, and we have a pullback, right, making a lower high and lower low. So this is a valid impulse pullback because we said a minimum of 1 pullback, maximum of 2 pullbacks. All right. Now let's look at other low risk filters. Okay. Notice also that hold on, let me just go to Pullback settings. That's right, that's my Pullback settings. Now the other thing I look at is I want to make sure that the price is not overbought. In other words, the price is not hitting the upper Bollinger Bands, and at the same time the stochastics is not above 80. If both happen at the same time, I consider it being overbought. So in this case, the price is far enough from the upper Bollinger Bands, and yes, the stochastics seem overbought. All right, so although stochastics show that it's overbought, but it's far away from the Bollinger Bands, I don't have 2 out of 2 telling me it's overbought. I will consider it not that overbought. Okay, so this would be a valid trade. So where would I place my buy order? I'll place my buy order a few cents above the high of this candle, right? So I'm going to click on this candle. Hold on, give me a sec. Yeah, click on this candle, and you can see the box appears on the left. So it says that the high is 30.77. So my buy order will be about 3 cents above the high, right? So 30.77 plus 3 cents is $30.80. So I'm going to put a buy order at $30.80. Let me just roughly, there we go. Right. So 30.80 is my intended entry order. Where do I place my stop loss? My stop loss will be placed, again, a few cents below the low of this pullback candle. So this pullback candle has a low of 29.72. So minus 3 cents is 29.69. So my stop loss will be at 29.69. Now I can't get exactly 69 based on this software. So yeah. So I'm just going to put it at 29.70, but again, it should be 29.69. All right, great. So this is my 1 hour distance. Okay, that's my 1 hour distance, and my target price will be again 2.5 hour above that entry price. So let me just write some of these things down so that you can see it visually. Great. So my entry order will be a buy right? Stop limit order. So there are two prices I need to key in with the broker. The first is the stop price. So the stop price would be, again, $30.80. 30.80. So when the market opens, if the price goes up and hits 30.80, my order will be triggered. You'll buy at the market price. But I must set a limit. Okay, so I'm not willing to pay more than 30.83. 30.83. So once again, where do I place my stop price? Stop price is placed 3 cents above the high of the last pullback candle. And the limit price is placed 3 cents above the stop price. Okay, so in other words, when the price, if the price hits 30.80, it would trigger a buy order. I'll buy at the market price, but no more than 30.83. All right. And where's my stop loss? So my stop loss would be a sell. It will be a sell stop order. At 29.69. All right, 29.69. All right, great. And the difference, the distance from the entry price to the stop loss is my 1 hour distance. All right. So in this case, what is 1 hour? So 1 hour distance, or the risk per share, is 30.80 minus 29.69. So let me just grab my calculator and just punch it in. So 30.80 minus 29.69. So that is $1.11. So that's my risk per share. So where must I place my target price? My target price would be 2.5 hour above the entry price, right? So 1.11 times 2.5, that's 278. Okay, so my target price would be $30.80 plus 278. So that's $33. So my target price would be $33.58. Right? So again, recall that the target price is a sell limit order. All right? So I've got my entry price, my stop loss price, and my target price. So if it goes to 33.58, it will sell, and I'll take profits and get 2.5 hour. If it hits my stop loss, I'll sell at 29.69 and take a minus 1 hour loss. All right? So this is a valid trade, LMAT. So let me move on, and let me see if there are any other valid trades that I could potentially take. Next one is ETN. So once again, you can see that the MACD is, just cross bearish, so that's not valid. Next one, PFLT. Again, MACD is bearish. You can see MACD is bearish. Now, at the same time, notice that the price is kind of like in a consolidation, and you can see there's a resistance here, right? So whenever you look at a chart, you must always look at potential levels of resistance. So there's a resistance over here, and the price is moving sideways. I don't like that. I like the price to have a strong impulse moving up and pulling back and going to continue, right? So if I were to look at this as a swing high and buy above this pullback candle, I'm just buying right below resistance, and that's not a really good idea. All right. So next is Berry. Again, MACD is bearish, so I'm going to skip that. CST. Okay, how about this one? So the 6 EMA just crossed above the 18 EMA. MACD just crossed as well. So I've got two signals happening at the same time. And the moment it crossed, that's my swing high. All right, that's my swing high. And I've got an inside bar. All right, so notice there's an inside bar. So can we enter with an inside bar? No, we need at least one pullback. So what you could do is you could put this stock on a KIV, keep in view, and check with it again tomorrow to see if there's a pullback candle. If there's a pullback candle, then we could consider this. But as of now, just an inside bar is not considered an entry. The other thing I'll be wary about is that the entry is right at the Bollinger Band, which could act as a resistance, and stochastics is kind of like pretty close to 80. So this could be a bit overbought for my preference. Next, FOXF. Again, MACD is bearish, so we're going to skip that. FCAU. Okay. Now, first of all, I don't like stocks that have a lot of gaps. Can you see these are gaps? So the moment I see stocks with a lot of gaps, I immediately will discount them, right? I will not even bother. I want stocks with very clear candles in a very clear trend. At the same time, notice that although the 6 EMA crossed above the 18 EMA, but it has crossed back down. So the moment the 6 EMA crosses back below the 18 EMA, it is not a valid trade. So I'm going to skip that as well. Next, JCI. Again, you can see that price is moving sideways. All right, and there is a resistance over here and a support, right? So when the stock is moving sideways, I'm not interested in going long because I don't want to buy in a consolidation, right? That's technical analysis 101, right? Don't buy in a consolidation, especially buying just below resistance. So that's not a good idea. Even if you have got a signal over there, right? Next, MCFT. Again, MACD is bearish. I'm going to skip that. Next one, MACD is bearish. Skip that immediately. Next one, MACD is bearish. Okay, that's it. So I've got one valid trade, which was LMAT. All right. So again, all I need is one trade a day. That's 20 trades a month. All right. Maximum of 2 trades a day. That's 40 trades a month. Okay. So the next one I'm going to screen for would be Piranha MACD long, which is the MACD signal that's, well, or rather the MACD crossing bullish signal. So first off is DGX. I'm going to click on that. And you can see MACD indeed has just crossed bullish. Okay, MACD line above signal line, and we have got our swing high candle and our pullback candle. Right, so swing high, pullback, MACD signal over there. All right, so is this a valid trade? Is this a valid trade? You may say, well, it is, but recall I only take high quality setups, and to me, a high quality setup is one where I need to have 2 out of 3 conditions happening at the same time. Recall, what are the 2 out of 3 conditions? Right, MACD crossing bullish, the 6 EMA crossing above the 18 EMA, and the price crossing above the 50 moving average. 2 out of 3 conditions should be happening at the same time. So in this case, we only have got one condition that's happening, which is the MACD crossing bullish. Okay, the 6 EMA crossed the 18 EMA a long time ago, and the price has been above the 50 moving average a long time ago. So this is not a high quality setup. Okay, because I've only got one signal. I want 2 out of 3 signals happening on the same day. All right, so I'm going to discard that. Next, again, I've only got the MACD signal, 1 out of 3 happening at the same time. It's not a high probability setup. Anyway, I've got, you can see at the same time the price is overbought at the upper Bollinger Band, stochastics is overbought, and we have got a swing high with an inside bar. So we do not have a pullback candle at the same time, right? So these are all reasons why I will not consider these setups at all. Okay, AIZ. Again, I've only got the MACD signal, 1 out of 3 conditions. I want 2 out of 3 conditions ideally for a high quality setup. Next one, again, I've only got one setup here, one signal here. Okay, so I'm going to go ODP, again, one signal. Now LMAT has appeared again, so it appears on both screens. So again, that makes it a really good setup. Yeah. So we've already considered taking LMAT. So let's move on. IPGP. Again, we've got only 1 out of 3 conditions. MACD just crossed bullish. That's my swing high, and that's my pullback candle. Again, it is a bit overbought right at the Bollinger Bands. Stochastics is pretty high. 1 out of 3 conditions, not high probability. Okay, let's skip that. All right, what else do we have on the list? CVLT. Again, MACD cross bullish. That's my swing high. That's my pullback. But again, you know, very near the upper Bollinger Bands. Stochastics overbought. 1 out of 3 conditions. So no. Nope, 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 nope. As you can see, I'm really strict. I only take really good quality setups. BPI. What do we have here? Again, we've got the MACD signal, but only 1 out of 3 conditions. Okay. CLGX. Once again, 1 out of 3 conditions. And do you also notice that there is a resistance? That's right, resistance over there. So I do not want to enter right at a resistance level. Not a good idea, right? So you have to identify these support and resistance patterns as well whenever you're taking a trade, okay? XYL, again, only MACD crossing bullish, 1 out of 3 signals, that's all. CST. All right, so CST has 6 crossing 18 and MACD crossing, so I've got 2 out of 3 signals, right? But again, we actually looked at this previously, right? And we've already said that it's an inside bar. It's a bit overbought, so we're not interested in this. We've seen this in the last screen. Next, LXFT. All right, how about this one? This one looks interesting as well. All right, so you have got the MACD crossing bullish. As you can see, MACD crossing bullish. We have got the price crossing above the 50 moving average. So price crossing above 50 moving average, MACD crossing bullish. That's 2 out of 3 conditions happening at the same time. So that could be a high probability setup, right? And the price is pretty far from the Bollinger Bands, and stochastics is not above 80, so it's not overbought, all right? So we could look at this as a potential setup. Now, notice that that's a swing high, right? There's a swing high right at the MACD cross, and that's a pullback. So if I were to enter this trade, I'll enter it again just above the high of this candle. So this candle's high is 63.55. So my entry would be 63.60. Put 5 cents above since it's a $60 stock. So 63.60 would be my potential entry. My stop loss would be 5 cents below the low of this candle, 62.15, minus 5 cents, 62.10. There we go. So this is again my 1 hour distance. 1 hour distance, right? And again, my target price would be somewhere there, 2R or 2.5R. 2.5. So this could be a potential trade as well, right? So again, we'll place a buy stop limit order at 63.60. Stop loss at 62.10. Yeah, and where's my target price? Let's do a calculation. So what's 1R? 1R would be the risk per trade. So that's 63.60 minus 62.10. So that's $1.50 risk per trade. So 2.5R would be 375. Okay, so my target price would be 375 plus 63.60. That's 67.35. So my target price would be 67.35. right about there. Right? So there you go. So LXFT could be a potential trade as well. All right. Great. All right. So we have got LMAT, LXFT, two potential trades. Let's go on SUM. Again, I've got my MACD, bullish signal, only one of three conditions, right? JCI, we've looked at it before, we don't like that, it's in a consolidation. KNSL. Again, MACD crossing bullish, one of three conditions happening at the same time. All right, so again, we have got two potential trades, LXFT and LMAT. Now recall that although we may have the technical setup on the charts, we also want to ensure that we only go long if it's a high momentum stock. So what makes a high momentum stock, right? So recall we said that to have high momentum, we want the stock to have high relative strength as well as being in a sector or industry that is bullish. All right, so I'm going to show you what I look at right now. So let's go back to LMAT. All right, so what I do is I look at relative strength. So I'm going to click on that. Click on relative strength. And I look at this over here. So this tells me how strong the stock is relative to the S&P 500. So you can see that recently the relative strength has been trending up, which means that the price has been going up and it's been going up against the S&P 500. So I want to see this moving up. That is a good signal. All right. Next, I look at the sector and the industry. So to do that, I'll click on this icon, industry information, plot sector and industry. So you can see that LMAT belongs to the healthcare sector and the medical instruments industry. So I want to make sure that the sector or the industry is on a strong uptrend, or it's a strong performing sector. Now, you can look at Finviz, which is free, to make sure it's in the top 3 performing sectors. You can also look at the chart of the sector or the industry using TC2000. So you can see that the sector and the industry, they are both on an uptrend. All right, you can see a clear uptrend, so that's what I want to see. Now again, you could put a 50 moving average on the sector and industry to get a better look. So I'm going to add in a 50 moving average. And I'm going to add the moving average to the sector. There you go. So you can see that the moving average helps you to see that the sector and industry are above the moving average and it's sloping up. So it's on a clear uptrend. So LMAT is a high momentum stock. Now, if you look at the average volume for the last 60 days, it is 188,000. So that's above 150,000. That's great, right? So we want to see high volume. That's a good indicator as well. So LMAT is definitely a stock that I'll consider putting a trade in for today. Next, LXFT. So again, LXFT is in the technology sector. It's in the software industry, and that, again, you can see is on a clear uptrend because it is above the 50 moving average. It is sloping up. So it is in a strong sector. That's what I want to see. Okay. If I look at the relative strength, I can see that the relative strength has been moving up as well, trending up. So good. Now, what's the volume on this? Now, the volume on this is not really great. It's 140,000 shares. Again, ideally, I like it to be above 150,000. So because of this, I may not take LXFT after all. I may just go with LMAT, right? So that is how I screen for stocks every day and how I run it through my checklist. Now, again, if there's so many things that you think you have to consider, I've created a kind of like a quick reference checklist for you, which is part of the resources you can download, right, over here. So you can see that this is the piranha strategy. By the way, I also call it the impulse pullback or piranha, is the same thing. Okay. So the first thing again I look at is S&P 500. If it's above 20 EMA, I screen for long trades. And these are all the criteria that I just went through. Now I've done this for so many years, to me it's second nature, but I understand that if it's the first time you're doing this, you have to actually have a checklist. So this is the entire checklist that I went through as I looked at those stocks, right, for long trades. Now if you're going for short trades, again you look at this entire list over here, right? And this checklist also helps you to ensure that you follow all the rules of exiting and portfolio management, right? Great. So this will help you to have a checklist to ensure that all the criteria are met. So again, every single day you could screen for your own trades. If you want, you can also subscribe to our alert service where we will do all the work for you. We'll screen for the trades and we'll send them to you when we think that we've got a high probability setup when they occur. All right, so that concludes this part of the lesson on screening for impulse pullback setups.